Hi, this is a quick exploration of the multi-asset tracker that is a template I've used for many years to track my investments across multiple asset classes, which is a hallmark of my investing strategy. A couple of conventions that are used here. Anything you see in yellow indicates an area that you can modify, um, and that's throughout the sheet. Right now, we're looking at the summary sheet, and what the summary sheet does is give you a very quick overview of what you hold in each of your investment accounts, whether they're registered or non-registered. And here we have examples of a non-registered investment account, an RRSP, and a TFSA. Um, and these are, each one of these accounts is split into the 5 buckets that I consider when investing, whether it's cash, bonds, Canadian equity, US equity, or international equity. The targets are the targets I actually use in my own personal investment. You're free to change those to whatever you like. Um, of course, they should add up to 100%. So that's the summary tab that gives you an all at a glance look on what's going on in your account and how far you've drifted off the targets. This row here, row 14, is the critical row that indicates when you need to make an adjustment to your portfolio to match your targets. So here we're seeing we're quite underweight in cash, so it means I need to add $150 in cash. And the negative values indicate things that you need to sell. So right now I have way too much Canadian equity in this account. So if I were to sell 2,355 worth of Canadian equity in any of my accounts, reallocate them to the other buckets, I'd be very close to my targets at that point. So the account details tab breaks down in detail each of your accounts. And again, you see the yellow cells here, which indicate areas for you to update. Here you have the stock symbol that you need to enter and the quantities you have. Cash and US dollar cash are present in every account. You shouldn't modify those. If you don't have cash in your account, you can just set a quantity to 0, no problem. And that would work just fine. We'll talk about how you can modify to adapt in a minute, but this is where you track your individual accounts very simply. Then over here is the quotes and allocation tab. This is where some of the magic happens behind the scenes. Here you enter any symbol that you own, as well as the stock market it trades on, whether it's the Canadian or the US stock market. The quotes here are automatically generated. This is a Google Sheet after all, so we rely on the Google Finance function in order to pull down near real-time quotes. So that you get a at a glance view of what's going on. Again, here you have the yellow cells, which indicate we're looking for some input from you. And here is where you get to decide what each of your stock symbols, how they break down in terms of the 5 different asset classes. A very large percentage of ETFs out there are only found in one of the buckets. So for example, CBO, which is a short-term corporate bond fund, is 100% shown as bonds. Whereas if you have something like XGROW, which is an all-in-one ETF, you can go and read about on their website what their target breakdowns are, and this is right from their website. So XGROW is always hovering around 20% bonds, 20% Canadian equity, 36% US equity, and 24% international equity. And by doing this, I am able to split XGROW into the various buckets. So, buying $1 of XGROW means I have 20 cents of bonds, 20 cents of Canadian equity, 36 of US equity, and so on. Below the line here, we have our cash holdings. So if you invest in, for example, a high interest savings account, I show some examples here, you would enter them here. the big difference between this section and this section on the sheet, here in this section, you're dealing with ETFs or symbols that have variable price quotes. So over the course of the day, they will change in terms of their per unit value, whereas cash and a high interest savings account doesn't. A dollar in a high interest savings account is a dollar. A dollar invested in an ETF will modify depending on the real-time quote. So that's the big difference between these two. The README gives you a little bit more insight about how to use the sheet, including how to make modifications to adapt to your own situation. So let's quickly show how to do that. So for example, if you needed to add another account, maybe you have a spousal TFSA or something like that, or your partner has a TFSA, you can easily add one. So what you have to do is select rows as I've done here, copy the entire section, and in order to keep the formula straight, leave exactly 4 rows space between them. So 1, 2, 3, 4 blank rows. We hit paste, and so we have a new TFSA here. You need to give it a unique name. So we can say, spouse TFSA, for example. So that's fine. You have to add it to the summary as well in this case, and you have to respect the name you've given it. So here, we always do this by doing an insert row above is what I would normally do. And then you can simply copy the row here like so and fill down, which is Control D. It's also, I don't know what the menu way of doing it is, but anyway. And then you have to make the name the same. So this has to be spousal TFSA. And right now we have a lot of not applicable. So, we made a small mistake here. So this all relies on lookup. So if you get a not applicable like this, you've made a mistake somewhere. Haha, I got the name wrong. So it's not spousal, it's spouse. So if I go over back to the summary, change it to spouse, everything will work. Like so. And now you get the new totals in here. And right now it's all the values are the same, but of course you can go in and change the number of holdings you have here. Maybe we have 30 over here, and then immediately you'll see that update over here. You have now a whole bunch more US equity in this account because we added a bunch of HXS into the spouse TFSA account. If you need to add new holdings, this is just a randomly generated list. You can, in fact, do the exact same thing. You do it by selecting an entire row and then insert a row above, like so. And then, I don't know, is TD a symbol? I think it is on the Canadian market. And then we can just fill down like this to get the quote. Yes, and so TD I would consider Canadian equity. So you can just simply go 100% here and you're done. Thereafter, you can add TD into your holdings. For example, if we wanted to make this TD instead, you would see it instantly update the price quote, and we also get the fact that it's Canadian equity. One last update, which is probably the most complicated one to do, is to add additional holdings within an account. So right now we have space for 3 separate holdings in each account. That's probably not enough for some accounts. So if you wanted to add another one, the way you have to do it is 2 steps. So first of all, you, like before, select the entire row, insert a row above or below, it doesn't matter. Then you fill down. So we take the row, we copy the row, and we paste the row like so. And then, if you wanted to, oh, so we're not done yet. So we've done it up here. And let's say this account also holds escrow, which is in our list on the other tab. So that's fine. But we haven't added it down here. This is a bunch of calculation field that's important to keep everything straight. So what you need to do, we've added escrow in between HXS and HXT. We need to do it in the same place here for this to work. So we again insert a row above like so. And then it's a matter of taking this and filling down, Control D. And so you'll get escrow showing up. You have to respect the order here or else it won't work. And you can check your work by making sure this total is the same as this total in all cases. So that's a quick overview of how the spreadsheet works and how to make changes to it.